what has the greatest influence on kids' development on emotional regulation? You touched on that, but are there any other points you'd like to bring forward when it comes to that?
We talked about what happens in utero and the first, the parents, the health of the parents and the relationships, the atmosphere in the household. There's, and you can take that further into, going back to what we said about the importance of eating and the digestive system as an example. I don't know if you've seen those studies by Harry Harlow with the monkeys, the wire mother and the cloth mother. Have you seen?
No, tell me
There's
about
some
it.
great videos on YouTube that you could see. It's really remarkable. Basically, what he did was he took newborn monkeys away from the mom, and then there's a whole ethical question about all that. But basically, the studies show that he would take these baby monkeys and he would put them in an environment where there were two quote mothers available to him or to her. One mother was basically like a wire mother with a bottle that the monkey could nurse from. And then the other mother, quote, was more like a soft cloth, almost like a plush toy, but no nursing bottle, right? So what the researchers did was they would basically observe the monkeys and see how much time would they spend on one mother or the other. And what's interesting is obviously they would need to feed from the wire mother, but once their feeding was taken care of, they would spend most of their time on the cloth mother, right? On the soft, comforting cloth mother, right? So once the basic need of food is taken care of for basic survival, newborns need that closeness, right? They need that comfort. They need that safety, right? And we look at imprinting, right? How baby goslings will follow their mom. And there's, again, on YouTube, there's some interesting videos from Lorenz, who was famous for studying this with birds. And again, really funny videos of goslings following him everywhere. He'd go for a swim and they're following him. He'd go for a canoe ride and they're following him. And when you put it into context of how the brain is so immature, especially the human brain is so immature when it's born, we have these instinctive circuits that say, stay close to your parents, right? They're your survival models,
right?
They're here already. They were able to do it. They succeeded.
Yeah.
Stay close to them. Do what they do, right? And then there's imitation studies which have shown, you can take babies, newborn babies, a few hours old, and you can look at them and stick your tongue out, and then they're going to stick their tongue back out at you, and you can make a frown, and they're going to frown back. These are really inborn mechanisms that say, whoever you're close to, those parents, do what they do, and then there's the mirror neurons. You know about mirror neurons? Again, this kind of goes, again, talking about our environment, our upbringing, the atmosphere in our house. For those who don't know the mirror neuron story or the discovery, it was an accidental discovery. So researchers in Italy were studying the mechanism, the neurology behind grasp. And they had macaque monkeys. They had electrodes hooked up to their brain, hooked up to a computer. And every time the monkey would grasp a peanut, bzz, the neuron would fire and it would be recorded. So bzz, every time bzz, the monkey would grasp the peanut. And then during a break, one of the researchers, saw the bowl of peanuts and went and grabbed a peanut himself, and bzz, the electrode was sound from the monkey. So
I didn't know that's how they discovered mirror neurons.
Yeah, it was an accident.
I didn't know how it happened. Okay, obviously, so many accidents lead to like so much knowledge. Eh? I didn't know that's how they did it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, but it's interesting to see how you can, you have circuits, and this has been extrapolated to humans, mirror neuron systems, right?
Right.
And it brings in the idea of empathy and can I tell what's going on in your mind, right now, the theory of mind concept. it's really fascinating. And I think all of these sorts of animal studies help us understand how the family is so important to how we develop. You know, how do you watch your parents get over arguments? You know, are they the type to throw plates and yell, or, you know, are they more, you know, I'm getting out of here? It's the fight or flight, right? And I think as far as emotional regulation, I think with all these concepts in mind, we most likely get most of our emotional regulation, our ability to cope with emotions, by watching our parents, you know, and that family dynamic that we all go through. You know, we're all dysfunctional, right?
It's a matter of to which extent and on which level, really.
That's right.